My name is Cora Jennings. I am 36 years old. And the morning I found out my sister had registered my business in her name, I was sitting at my kitchen table with a browser tab open to the state business registry. I had given her $67,400. Every dollar I had saved over 6 years, transferred in 3 installments, the last one 11 days earlier. The LLC was registered, filed 6 days ago. Owner of record, Natalie Jennings Morrison. My sister's name, not mine, not ours, hers alone. I read it 4 times, took a screenshot, sat at that table for 19 minutes without moving. Not because I was surprised. That is the hardest part to explain. Somewhere deep in my chest, I had always known something like this was coming. And I had transferred $67,400 anyway. I had a folder on my desk. Plain white. 2 years of documents inside. Not a binder yet. That would come later. I knew exactly what I needed to do. But first I need to take you back 3 years. To a phone call on a Tuesday night. To a sister with a failing business. And a voice that made saying no feel like abandonment. If you are watching this, drop your city in the comments. I read every one. Now, back to the beginning. I grew up in Augusta, Georgia. 2 daughters in the Jennings house. My sister Natalie is 2 years older. Natalie was the one people noticed. Loud, magnetic, the kind of person who walked into every room and immediately found the center of it. My parents adored her for it. I was the one who did the work. Not bitterly, just factually. Natalie had the ideas. I had the follow-through. This had been true since childhood, and nobody had ever named it, because naming it would have required changing it. I studied accounting at the University of Georgia, moved to Atlanta, built a career in financial analysis. I was methodical, careful, the kind of analyst who double-checked everything twice, not because she was told to, but because she understood that errors had consequences that rarely announced themselves until it was too late. I saved obsessively. 6 years. Green cells for months I hit my target. Red for months I didn't. 6 years, 3 red cells. $67,400 in a high-yield savings account. I had not told Natalie. I had not told anyone except my best friend Priya. Natalie had started a home goods business 3 years earlier. Handmade candles, linen products, a genuine creative talent paired with a cash flow problem she could never quite solve. She had called me twice before for bridge loans. $8,000 once. $12,000 once. Both times she paid me back. Both times slightly late. Both times with the small interest she had insisted on. I had kept records from the beginning. My grandmother had told me to. Vera Jennings, 74 years old, retired bookkeeper. Navy ledger updated every Sunday with a mechanical pencil. She had taught me at her kitchen table when I was 16 that records were a form of self-respect. I had listened. The call that changed everything came on a Tuesday at 11:07 p.m. She was crying before she finished saying my name. Cora, the business is going to close. I need everything. All of it. $67,000. I know about the account. Priya mentioned it 2 years ago. I never said anything, but I need it now. I will sign a loan agreement. Notarized. Real interest. I promise. I lay in the dark while she cried for 22 minutes. Then I said, send me the business plan. She sent it the next morning. The numbers were not good, but they were not hopeless. Real revenue. Real customers. A structural problem, not a concept problem. I called my grandmother. I'm thinking about it, I said. Get a notarized loan agreement, she said. Repayment schedule. Penalty clause. And Cora. Yes. Keep the folder. I got the agreement. Natalie signed it. My cousin witnessed it. I transferred the money in 3 installments over 3 weeks. The last transfer cleared on a Thursday. 11 days later, I was looking at the state registry. Owner of record, Natalie Jennings Morrison. 19 minutes without moving. Then I opened the folder. I called my grandmother before I called Natalie. She registered it, I said. Her name only. Filed 6 days ago. Do you have the loan agreement? Yes. Transfer confirmations? All 3. Dated. Confirmation numbers. Text messages where she described what the money was for. Printed. In the folder. Come here, she said. Bring everything. I drove 40 minutes to her house that afternoon. Kitchen with a round table. Good afternoon light. Navy ledger open on the counter. She read everything slowly. When she finished, she looked up. The loan agreement specifies Jennings Home Goods, LLC. She registered Morrison Home Goods. Different entity. The purpose of the loan no longer applies. I had known this. Hearing it stated plainly made it real in a different way. I need to build this properly, I said. Not a folder. She went to her supply cabinet. Came back with a white binder. 3-ring. Tab dividers. Use mine, she said. We built it together. Tab 1, loan agreement notarized. Tab 2, transfer confirmations. Tab 3, text message logs. Tab 4, registry filing, screenshot, owner highlighted. Tab 5, she added herself. 1 page. Her handwriting. Full timeline going back 2 years. Prior loans, $8,000, $12,000, $14,500, all repaid. Current loan, $67,400, outstanding. Grand total transferred to Natalie, $101,900. I had never seen it as one number before. $101,900. I sat with that for a long time. Natalie called at 7:32 that evening. Not because she knew, because she wanted to give me a business update. The registration went through, she said. Relieved. Light. Morrison Home Goods, I said. For seconds of silence. Cora, I can explain. The loan agreement specifies Jennings Home Goods. What you registered is a different entity. It is the same business. Natalie. She stopped. I will be at your studio Saturday at 10, I said. Bring whatever explanation you have. Saturday, 10 in the morning. Her studio in Midtown Atlanta. Clean, well lit. Product shelves full of the beautiful things she was genuinely talented at making. She was at her desk when I walked in. She had been there since early, coffee half empty, laptop open, the posture of someone who had been preparing. I put the white binder on the desk between us. What is that? She said. 2 years of records, I said. Start with tab 1. She read the loan agreement. Her own signature. Notarized. Dated. Tab 2. 3 transfer confirmations. $22,000. $23,000. $22,400. Total $67,400. Tab 3. Her text messages. Her descriptions. Jennings Home Goods. Supplier payments. Payroll. Lease. Tab 4. Registry filing. Morrison Home Goods, LLC. Her name. Filed 11 days after my last transfer. She closed the binder. I was going to add you, she said. The timeline was tight and I needed to move fast. I was always going to. Tab 5, I said. She opened it. Read my grandmother's handwriting. The full 2-year timeline. $101,900 total. She stared at that number. I didn't know you had kept all of this, she said. I know, I said. That was the point. She tried 3 more explanations. Tax incentive deadline. I had checked. It had passed 3 weeks earlier. Clean entity to protect us both. The loan agreement said otherwise. Overwhelmed. Made a decision in stress. Genuinely sorry. I let her finish the last one. Then she said something that told me everything. I didn't think you would actually check. The studio went quiet. You have been counting on me not checking for 2 years, I said. You paid back the small loans to keep me available for the large one. And when the large one came, you moved faster than you thought I would. She did not argue. What do you want? She said. 2 things, I said. The business re-registered with my name as co-owner. Equal share. Filed by Friday. And when you are ready, a real conversation about what the last 2 years actually looked like. She looked at the binder for a long time. And if I do both, then we find out if the business is worth saving and if the relationship is worth rebuilding. In that order, the business was re-registered on a Thursday, 2 days before my deadline. My phone showed the notification at 2:17 in the afternoon. Jennings Morrison Home Goods, LLC. 2 members, equal share, both names. I sat at my desk and looked at it for a long time. Then I opened the white binder, added 1 final tab. Tab 6, re-registration confirmation. Date, both names. Filed closed the binder, put it in the drawer, called my grandmother. "It's done," I said. "Good," she said. Just that. The same word she always used for things that mattered. My parents called separately. My mother first. Her voice careful, navigating. "Natalie says there was a misunderstanding about the registration. There was a loan agreement and a registration that violated it," I said. "Those are not misunderstandings. Those are documents. Cora, she is your sister." "I know," I said. "That is why I gave her $101,900. She had no answer. My father called 2 days later. Direct, the way he rarely was. "Tell me the real version," he said. I told him everything. When I finished, he was quiet for a moment. "I'm going to talk to her," he said. "Not to pressure you. To tell her what she did was wrong. Someone should say it directly." It was the most accountable thing my father had ever said to me. "Thank you, Dad," I said. "I saw the pattern," he said. "For years. I didn't say anything. I should have." The real conversation happened 6 weeks later. My grandmother's kitchen table. 3 cups of tea. Natalie had asked for it. Reached out on a Sunday morning with the voice of someone who had been sitting with something too long alone. She spoke for 40 minutes. Not explanations this time. Something slower. The version of a person talking when they have stopped trying to manage the outcome. She said she had told herself it was the same business. A detail that I would understand eventually. "That last part," I said. "That is what I need you to hear." She looked at me. "You counted on me understanding eventually," I said. "Every time. Every loan. Every call at 11 p.m. You knew I would transfer the money because you knew I would understand eventually. That is not a relationship. That is a system. And I was the only one funding it." She did not argue. "What does it look like if not like that?" she said. "Equal," I said. "Decisions together. Financial visibility shared. No more calls asking for everything I have." My grandmother set down her tea. "That is a partnership," she said. "Everything else is an arrangement. My name is Cora Jennings. I am 36 years old. I gave my sister $101,900. She registered the business in her name the morning after the last transfer cleared. I had a white binder, a notarized agreement, and a grandmother who taught me at 16 that records are a form of self-respect. The business is still running. Both names on the filing. A shared spreadsheet reviewed every Monday. Not perfect, but honest. And honest is the only version of a partnership worth keeping. I do not regret the money. I regret the silence I kept around it. The way I transferred and said nothing and told myself that being needed was the same thing as being valued. It is not the same thing. My grandmother updated her ledger that Sunday. 2 lines. Cora, partnership formalized. Equal share. Filed. About time. If you have ever funded someone else's dream while your name stayed off the paperwork, leave one word in the comments. Just one. I read every single one. And if this story reminded you that generosity without documentation is just a story that can be edited, share it with someone who needs to hear that today. Subscribe. The next story is already waiting.